So we can first have Miss Tonya.
Come on, Tonya.
Miss Tonya is the author of Meet Desiree, a creative nonfiction. Let's give her a hand.
Thank you, Dr. Harris, and it's my pleasure to be here with you all today. I'm going to be very brief. I'd just like to share with you a little bit about myself. My name is Tonya Goring, and I am the author of Meet Desiree. This is a nonfiction book. It's my first published book.
Woo! Congratulations!
As I said, my name is Tonya Goring, and I'm from the Panhandle of Florida originally. I've been living in Central Florida for about 30 years now. I'm married with 2 children. I love old movies. Any in particular with Sydney 48 is my favorite. So I'm probably dating myself a little bit, but that's okay. Pretty much that's it. I love to play tennis, and I love to be alone. So that's how I got started out with drawing. As a kind of a little bit about my book, I'd like to share with you part of the synopsis. Desiree thought she knew all there was to know about her husband Malcolm's past. After 2 years of marriage and 2 children, Desiree discovered yet another chapter of Malcolm's life that he never shared with her. At the same time, she feels that there's something big about to happen in her life that is going to change forever. When it does happen, she's been to the core, and she wonders if she will ever recover. Desiree blames God, and she struggles to hold on to her faith that was instilled in her as a child. As Desiree struggles to get through this juncture of her life, Malcolm is notified that his past is about to become a big part of their present. Once again, Desiree faces this challenge. Desiree and Malcolm quickly realize that they're in over their heads, and Desiree wonders if she's strong enough to fight for her family and her sanity, and she wonders if the dangers are too great to overcome. I have to say, I'm the author of this book, I can guarantee you will relate to it on some level because I feel like we've all experienced tragedy, betrayal, there's a little suspense, there's some redemption, and I think you'll find a little bit of humor in there.
That's good stuff.
That's my 5 minutes or 2 minutes. I made it very brief. So,
you was only there a minute now. You were only there for like a minute.
1 minute? Okay. Well, that's my 1 minute. I'll take another minute to show you how you may get this wonderful book.
Yes, yes.
I have a Facebook page that I would like to invite all of you to view some of the excerpts and like the page, because that's what we really need is the likes so we get the information about the book and the traffic on the Facebook page. That's very useful to the author and to whatever business person is using their Facebook page. I'm on Amazon.com. And I have published the book in paperback, and it's available on ebook. An ebook is not as scary as you think it is. I would offer anyone here today advice on how to publish your book on ebook. And it's not that expensive either, provided you've done all the other things to get a professional book that Dr. So, and it's Amazon.com. And then I'm on Twitter, Goring1 on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll post events where I can next be seen or post signings and things like that. My Facebook page is Meet Desiree. So it's www.facebook.com/Meet Desiree. And also, if you take one of these lovely pens, and if you have one of those scanners that has a QR code on it, you can scan and take it right to the Facebook page.
Great mark.
And I have a lot of information about the book as well. And that's uploaded with excerpts and I'll update it with events and things like that.
Hold your book up towards the camera.
All right, thank you so much. And the time it's $14.99. Okay, next we have Miss Dr. Ruth Baskerville. Hoodless Klan.
Hi everybody. Thank you for the applause. This is my book. I am 42 years in education. Actually, I started as a high school English teacher, and I did theater, and I built sets in my driveway. My husband was corporate tax specialist, so you know how happy he was when I gave high school kids my personal unlisted phone number if they were having problems writing research papers. But at the end, and so I was K-12 administrator. I, by the way, came into administration thinking there was all the power. If I left the classroom, I could really make a difference. And the day I shut the classroom door, I realized I left all the power. So I became K-12 administrator in 3 states and also central office, curriculum and HR. Why I wrote this book, the last assignment I had was as a charter school principal in another state. And my first charter experience, but not my first administrative experience. But I actually ran into a very racist, wealthy persons of privilege who just spent their entire lives thinking that the world was theirs. And I mean, they hired me, so they, I mean, my particular heritage is mixed, but they had to know when they hired me that I was not going to be a puppet, that I certainly would never permit anybody to harm minority students, parents, or teachers, and they wanted to harm all 3.
Wow.
So I wrote this book when I came home. My long story, I was fired, then I was retired. In between was A is for attorney. That's the chapter. That's the chapter in the middle. Yeah, there's one I'm fired, then A is for attorney, then I'm retired. But anyway, it turned out to be quite a large book, and I just believe God sort of directed it because I never had a brain problem. I never lost focus. I wrote it in 5 months. And when I finished, I just stopped and I pushed away from the computer. It was done. And this is what it was. And the editor that looked at the book said, only cut the equivalent of 5 pages and said the rest had to stay for the sake of the plot. So this is a pretty good read. It has most appeal to, I think, educators first because you'll be able to resonate, or if you know educators, administrators and aspiring administrators, because everything that could happen to a principal really happens, from the hovering, from the corruption downtown. When you engage a central office figure, like I never had a problem dealing with, irate parents or even a hate group, that kind of thing. But when you also commission the assistance of your boss's boss, when they purchase, people in central office, that pinches because you work for them. So it made a very intriguing story, and in the midst of this, you really have to hold on to faith. I think in the end, that's what's so important. I will tell you personally, I sought out just one publisher. My husband did all the research for me when I came home and I wrote this book, and he found a publisher that printed books with moral courage, and we said the main character here certainly had that, Dr. Grace Middleton, even though I call the book fiction, did I say that on camera? And where I got the title was, I was saying to him one day, honey, these are telling the real stories, like really effective things. And I said, and I was thwarting them at every turn, I said, honey, these guys don't even wear hoods. And I said, they're like in your face. And right there, we both looked at each other. I was about 100 pages into the book, and we said, we got the title.
Wow.
And that's how Hoodless Klan came into being. It's 1995, and I have books here, and I also have synopsis that you could take if you just wanted to go think about it, and little business cards. The last thing I'll say before I sit down is that my husband passed just sort of suddenly. Right when we finished the book, he knew every page. He was my 45 years of marriage. He was everything. But anyway, he died. The morning that we got the word that the publisher was pleased to publish my manuscript, that morning he passed. But he knew this before we went to the doctor and he died. So that was an amazing thing for me. My second book, which will be done in a couple of months, much shorter, lighter, is going to be called Humor in Grief. Because as I was trying to do what he did and try to continue to be me, because I'm, the left brain is just thriving with me. The right one, not so much. Or is it backwards? But anyway, the analytical side is not kicking, but he was all of that. And so my house was mute when he passed, and I said I must figure out how to do the stereo, how to learn the GPS, how to work things, and how to downsize and so on, and I've done that. But it's just funny, as I share stories, everybody just laugh, and I said, I bet this would help grieving people, because it really helped me. So Humor and Grief will be coming. Hoodless Klan, if you're interested today.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Ms. Dr. Ruth, who's also my mentor. such a good friend. I'm learning so much from her. My little 10-year experience doesn't ride to 42, but she pours into me freely, and I love her. So thank
Phenomenal.
Next we have Miss Sonya Thompson. She's going to talk about business. The Bible. Let's
My name is Sonya Thompson. I am first an entrepreneur. That is where I got mine started. I didn't become an entrepreneur. I was telling people I believe everybody has an entrepreneur in them. If you want to be an author, you are an entrepreneur. I believe that's what God designed us. You don't become one, you are one, and you develop that ability and that's what God has put in you. So what happened is I've been in business. I have a vending company that I run, and I did that for about 11 years. And through that journey, I made a lot of mistakes. And what this is a compilation of some life stories that I share. For instance, the very first year in business, I made $100,000 the first year. 100,000 came, 100,000 went, tax bill showed up. And it was that moment that I made a promise to God that I want you to teach me to do business your way. And so as the journey continued, back in 2010, I sat down, God gave me an idea for this book, title and everything. He literally just showed it to me as a cover. And what's in this book is from Proverbs. Out of each chapter, God had me pull out one key defining thing. But every one of them I could relate to. So I share a little bit of personal story in this with each chapter. And also in here is, to me, a lot of people shy away from the Bible, Christian doctrine, whatever it is, because it doesn't take on reality. Unless you take the book, the Bible itself, and make it real and have something to apply it, it doesn't do anything.
That's right.
So in here I also have some assessments that you can make for yourself. You can write your notes, daily declarations that you can declare over your business. That is how I was taught by God himself to begin to declare over my business. I have the ability, one thing that nobody can take from me is the ability to change things.
That's right.
So I do that by the words of my mouth. As I discovered in scripture. I don't go anywhere where I can't talk about my faith.
There we go.
I have had, this is not just a book for Christians. I have non-Christians who purchase this book. Wisdom is wisdom. I don't care how you cut it up, how you divide it. And I've had people who started businesses, people who don't have a business, they were thumbing through this, and they began to find some wisdom in here. They said, wow, I wish somebody would have told me this before. This will save you heartache if you want to go into business. It will give you insight. It will show you how to expand your business. And it will show you your true purpose and why God gave you the ministry. I call it a ministry of being an entrepreneur. Show you why He allowed you to do that and has trusted you with that opportunity. This particular book, the foreword was done by Tonya. He's also my pastor. He's a former defensive tackle for the Colts as well. Since written another book, actually had the opportunity to have Dr. Nasser Siddiqui, if you know who he is, he did a foreword on that one. But anyway, so the book is $11.99, but today it's $10 for you when you purchase it. I also have this CD I like to give for free when you purchase the book. It's called Seeds of Prosperity. The reason I'm doing that, I give a lot of products away. My goal in life, and I made a promise to God, is when I leave this place, I want, when somebody thinks of me, they're going to think change. They're going to think I met this woman through a book, through personal contact, and she left me a legacy because this one thing changed my life.
That's right.
First, I started my family when I had a 16-year-old son, married, and that is my goal in life. It is not to sell books. It is not to sell CDs. Now, that's nice, and God has blessed me tremendously on a financial level doing these things, but my goal is to change people's lives.
Yes, so
they hear my name, they see change. I've written also some books on finances. That's my real thing is business and finance. I take great issue with poverty, great issue with debt, great issue with lack. My books speak that. When I write as if I'm sitting talking to you. You don't feel like you're just reading a book. You feel like Sonya Thompson has pulled up to your table, picked up a cup of coffee, you drink it, water, and I am literally talking with you. That's how I write a book. And I have tremendous testimonies that pour into the book that I've written. And the last thing I want to do, tell you, I do mentor people. I don't charge anybody for anything. I have several young couples. I love it when I get young people that come to me, not that I'm that old, I'm pretty young, but they come to me and they say, will you mentor me? All I need is a teachable person.
the finances and businesses of these people have gone through the roof. Every single one of them. Because they're teachable, they're willing to take time-tested biblical principles among the knowledge I have from the school of hard knocks, and tell you can avoid those things. And if I can say one last thing, Dr. Harris talked about your book. Everybody's not going to receive your book. Boy, I thought everybody would be excited about knowing you don't have to be broke, you don't have to be busted, etc. But I found out, unfortunately, in the Christian community, when you say money, people go running. I've sent my book to many people in the Christian realm, and they say people don't like that kind of stuff. So I said, okay, no bookstore gets them. I started hiring distributors who actually sell my book. I give them profit, they're not going to fees. But I was recently contacted by one of the major universities in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I won't give their name, and because some students got a hold of my book, we want to put it in there. But don't let anybody stop you from whatever you're doing. Nobody can stop you. I say that to myself every day. You may find my book on Amazon. I'm also an ordained minister. I don't usually mention that. I don't want you calling me minister. I am Sonya. Because I tell people I already know who I am, whether you can have the title or not. Right from the word ministries.org is where you can find us. Find us on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter at Sonya Thompson 1. And all our books are on ebook. We have them available for Kindle as well. Appreciate your time, guys.
On your teeth.
My. Ministers I met, Sonya, has got me many emails on, don't you call me minister, and I understand. Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I can't wait on that rejection part, but I'm still waiting on this state distributor to send me a personal Okay, our next speaking author is going to be Mr. Crudup II. He's going to talk about how God does not forget the little people. Let's give him
I'm Sidney Crudup II, and as Dr. Harris just said, the name of my book is God Doesn't Forget the Little People. This is not an assault on tall people. This is not an assault on tall people. I don't like tall people, but it's not an assault on tall people. Now, what this book is about, and I can relate to what Sonya was also saying, even Dr. Harris, this book is talking about pride versus humility. And when it says that God doesn't forget the little people, it's going to be a little bit of the synopsis in the back. It says pride is a dangerous enemy. It is a vehicle the enemy uses to pit its victims against the only one willing to help. God hates it, and Satan knows it. Thus, it is important to know that when pride is present, a plunge is not far behind. In a society that praises achievement, it can be difficult to remain humble. Outside forces collapse upon the ego, forcing it to demand the applause and the acclaim. How twisted is the one who stays unnoticed, working the scene from the background. This is what the culture argues. Unfortunately, a manner conformed to this manipulation results in madness. What is the remedy? What is the surefire way of keeping the hand of God's wrath away from us? The cure is a meek and lowly spirit. The hotshots tend to forget the little people, but God never forgets them. Having the right attitude before God is the means of always receiving His help. And in agreement with what Sonya also said, I grabbed a few proverbs, where Solomon was the wisest man to walk this planet next to Christ. And the proverb says that pride goes before destruction.
That's right.
And a haughty spirit before a fall. So, and I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn that you can't be arrogant and expect people to like you. You can't be haughty and expect God to help you. So I realized that, through my writer's journey, through doing ministry on my own, I learned that there's a lot of pride in leadership in the church. And what led me to write this was having to interact with those people who were arrogant. And I realized that the only way God is going to help me, I have to come down. If I want to go up, I have to come down. So I've been writing for a while. I'd say since 2002 that I've been writing, and this actually was published by a pastor friend of mine in Jacksonville. And at that point, I realized it was time for me to step out on my own and publish my own. Now, the next coming book is actually, it's funny that I'm here doing this one because my wife and I, we just started our own media group, Sid Sand Media Group. I'm Sid, she's Sand. Sid Sand, that's that, right? We just started our own media group, and our publishing division is going to release our first book, which was actually published print on demand back in '02. We can talk about that when the cameras are off. But we brought it back under Sid Sand, and it's called Church Folk Can Be Dangerous.
Woo! Jesus!
Can I get an amen?
Amen!
Yes, so we're working on that. That's coming out in March, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the real people. But you can get me on my Facebook page, which is Sid Crudup. I decided to cut the NEY off because Sid sounds a little bit more powerful. So you can find me on my Facebook page, Sid Crudup. And you can actually go to, because I'm also a freelance writer, you can go to my website, which is ReadyScribe. I got that from Ezra. ReadyScribe.com or LLC.com. ReadyScribeLLC.com. And I love writing, I love producing, I love doing anything that God wants me to do, and I really appreciate the opportunity to come and share with Dr. Harris.
This is good stuff.
Wow, we have such great talent in the room, and in the last 3 minutes, this is how I do things. I'm going to wrap it up Dr. Harris style. I have absolutely no shame. I tell people I was born with no shame. So, if everyone can take one of each material, I have, not only am I a published author, but I have a foundation. It's called Journey-Less Travel Foundation, and I'll tell you about how I got started, but I'd like to give you a complimentary pen. I'd like you to take my business card, take one, pass it down, and then if you're not yet a member of the Yes Network, I encourage you to start a Yes profile. It's a free profile, and a lot of the lovely faces you see here, they're also on the Yes Network. You can connect with them and network amongst each other. Now, 2 books. Yes, I'm being a little greedy.
Go ahead and do your thing.
It's my event, right?
Hey, why
You
not?
can plug your stuff.
Preach
I
it.
see my brother back there. My first book is called The Journey Less Travel, Choose to Turn Your Tragedy into Triumph. This book talks about my personal life and experience with adversity. In 2006, I met in a horrific car accident. This car accident left me for dead. As a matter of fact, I died 3 times. Yes, I saw God and I saw the bright light, but it just was not my time. So after God released me back to heaven, I meant back to earth. I felt like I was in heaven, but after He released me back, I then became very, very passionate about helping others. I had over 12 surgeries, passed through 3 times, and it was very, very, very difficult and hard because someone who I loved dearly in my vehicle died as a result of the accident, which, by the way, was a high-speed police chase. So we'll talk about that some other time. In this book, I teach people from chapter 1, the day of the accident, which is heavy, heavy research because I was out of it and in a medically induced coma for over a month on life support. So I don't know what happened in the first month. Okay, but I went through and I did research, conducted some interviews, and discovered my injuries, and I talk about them in great detail in chapter 1. So I tell people, if you could get through chapter 1, you're good. Then you could eventually get from my tragedy to basically my triumph, and hear the testimonials of individuals who have witnessed me transform, learn how to use my motor skills all over again, from walking, talking, doing my hair. I had to shave my hair because of different things, brain injury, too. I mean, you name it. It was horrific, but I'm here. And I'm here to share my story. And my story, I stand on a platform called Triumphant Living. I'm here to inspire, I'm here to educate, and I'm here to empower people to live the triumphant life. That no matter what you go through in life, you are designed, you were predestined for you to overcome. Not for it to defeat you, but for you to defeat it. So I give you the 7 steps to developing a conqueror's mentality. If you go to my blog, lorettaharris.wordpress.com, I go extensively for an entire 2 months on each step. So if you want to know step number 1, face your adversity. No matter what it is, you got to face it in order to get over it. To step 7, which is take a stand, it's written extensively there on my blog press. So this book is available nationwide at a price of $16.99. It's on my website for $15, and anytime I have events like this, I sell them for only $10. The second book, 101 Reasons to Live, I published in 2011, January, and I shared about this already, but it's 101 power-packed statements to empower you, the reader, to find meaning and purpose in everyday living. So number one reason to live, we're here to fulfill our destiny. Yes, you have greatness on the inside of you. There's something that you have to contribute to the world, and the world awaits the day that you discover what that is and you help other people out too. So I provide you with 101 reasons. I then define those reasons, and I give you an opportunity to record your own reason why you are alive. So this is classified as an interactive reflective journal, and it helps individuals. This is also available at $14.99, and I sell it for $10. But I just want to give a short testimonial of how I've sent some of these books free of charge to Iraq and Pakistan. And if you visit Amazon.com, you have testimonials of soldiers who have said that this book has helped them overcome and given them reasons to stay and to fight the war for our people. So that makes me happy to know that this book is empowering and changing the lives of our soldiers who's fighting for us daily. So that's it. Dr. Loretta has. I'm going to give away one item, which is basically a package with all of my products. I didn't check the sign-in, but who has the sign-in, our sign-in? Not yet?
I haven't signed in either.
If everyone will sign in, please.
I haven't signed in either, so.
Yes, Tonya has one. Tonya's going to give away one. She could go first.
Yes, I'd like to go first. I have a $25 gift card for O'Connor, so maybe your meal period could be free of charge. So I guess I'll call Dr. Harris and I'll call a number. How many names are on the list? I think it's about 28.
You could just call Hashim Francis. I'm right over here. Give me the card.
I took you one of yours, not the 35 grand.
It's on those pens going around. Make sure it's on
I'm going to wait for not everyone to sign in.
While she's waiting and I'm waiting on everyone to sign in because we want to be here, let me go ahead and pass some more information around. I host, along with a group of experts, every quarter at Nova Southeastern University. It's called the Goring the Business Professional, and we have our session that's coming up. That's April the 20th. 2013 is from 10 to 2 p.m. I have some of our presenters here. If they'll raise their hand, I have Miss Sunny J. She's our fashion expertise. And then I have Miss Yolanda Hilltrip. She's our writing expertise. And then I talk about professional speaking and presentation. So the foundation of this training is 4 hours. It's a dine and learn. It's a catered event. It's only $65. You walk away with a huge binder that's called the DVD kit, and it's a kit filled with all resources of everything professional. How to speak professionally when you're doing either a speech, a workshop, a seminar. It tells you the top 8 style and how to deliver in each one, and then provide research and information, handouts, the whole 9. And then the professional writer, whether it's a newsletter, whether it's a blog, whether it's a book, how to write it professionally. And then the last is professional presentation, how to use technology to enhance your presentation. Last session, Ms. Molly talked about my video talk, which we always stream live and we always use enhanced technology. So we talk about how to use that technology to complement your presentation. Now this time around, if you come, you're going to be in for a treat because we're not only going to be talking about the foundational principles of professional writing and presenting, but we have the Hashim team. Yes, the Francis team is going to be
I like the
in
name of
the
that.
house, and he's and his wife. They're experts. Make sure you guys get their card, and then if you are a writer or an author, you want to submit to their magazine, Built to Prosper magazine. But they're going to be talking about CEO and leadership development in your organization, and then also we have Ms. Scarborough who's going to be talking about customer service. So if you have a business, you have a staff, and you want to make sure that you have that order in line, you want to come. $65 DVP kit, stellar presentation, 4 hours, and it's also paid. So I'm gonna give you
Excuse me, could I plug that event?
Yes.
I went to the first event at the DB workshop. The takeaways that you get will enhance your business more than the $65 investment. The first event I went to, and the booklet I got, I was like, I wonder if she just known that she gave like a $100,000 training away just in that package alone, because it's a phenomenal event. Definitely, if you own a business, professionalism, customer service, writing, top notch, top class event. You definitely want to be there. If you need $65, go to 6 people and ask them for $10 and put $5 in, and you'll be at the event. So we hope to see you there at the event.
Ms. Gina would like to share her testimony.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gina. I had the privilege of attending one of the workshops. I think it was the 3rd quarter. And a friend of mine, she heard about it and she had information on it. I'm not going to write it. As Julie said, it really is working. Like, I still have my notebook and don't get through it all in one sitting. So when I went back to work, I literally took it to work and left it at my desk. I can do it every single day. So if you have the opportunity to attend one of the workshops, you should, especially if you are an aspiring writer like myself, or a speaker, or a facilitator. They really do get on every level. So it is working.
Thank you, Ms. Gina. Ms. Gina, can you also tell us how proud you are with you, please, and your contact information?
I am, along with Dr. Loretta, you all know she's the host of the Blog Talk Radio show, and I am as well. It's called The Next Level with Ms. Gina. So I have a show every Sunday and now Tuesday evening, so I can something with you afterwards, give or something information, say how you can take up with me. And I enjoyed doing it. I actually had Dr. Loretta on about a month ago. Oh, it's blogtalkradio.com/, but the NXT-level. It's blogtalkradio.com/ the NXT. NXT is not NXT, NXT-level, LEVEL. And it has all my show times.
Okay, Ms. Tonya, and then myself, and then we're going to wrap up, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. Did anybody walk away with something today? Yes? Yes. Good. That's the mission, and I feel mission accomplished. Ms. Tonya, did you want to give away your first? Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to $25.
I'll spare about this, because I haven't looked at the sign-in sheet anyway, but so I'll let one of you guys. And God can be right.
22 right here. Deborah Francis, I told you, you should have brought her. Deborah Francis, 22. I told you. Just told you to bring it over. Money cometh. Money cometh.
So who wants, go ahead and claim it, who wants to get everything that's on here? Let me tell you, it's all of my books, my children's books, and my t-shirts.
What's the number?
What's my number? 8. 8, who's 8? 8. Oh, where's your sheet? Mariah, Julia?
She ain't here. Pull again.
Okay, pull next.
Go ahead and call Hashim Francis. They ain't gonna hurt you.
Miss Gina.
Okay. 22. No. That's 2 different prizes. We can't get our prize.
Miss Gina has another chance.
Give me a number and I put it back in there.
28.
You know we technically won, but we're not gonna argue.
Hey, wait a minute.
sew back in.
We sewing into you. Just know we sewing those books into you.
We also have male and female fragrance. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Next month, we're going to host this event on the third Saturday of February. We're going to talk about turning your passion into profit. And Susanna Warrington with Tim Works is going to talk to us. So thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful Saturday. These authors are here, guys, if you would like to make any purchase or talk and meet with them personally. That's here. Thanks for coming.
I need to get some pictures with Kate and all of them with the magazine because they're not leaving without me getting one.